Starting with Super. This is the project MrBeast is alleged to have made the most amount of money on, over $10 million based on a pre-sale of $100,000. As for evidence, we have leaked screenshots showing MrBeast telling Super's founder that he can do $100K. Then we have a wallet that both investigations trace to MrBeast, sending $100K to the pre-sale wallet. And then we have the same wallets getting millions of these Super tokens in a period of unlocks, which were almost all sold aggressively. Now, why is this bad? Well, MrBeast is obviously hugely influential, and he publicly associated himself with the project twice. Once on March 3rd, 2021, he responded to a tweet with eyeball emojis. And then he interacted a second time on May 12th, 2021. This is much worse. The founder, Elio Trades, had tweeted, "There's a gym sitting there on the market at eye-watering prices set to explode during the DeFi Summer 2.0. MrBeast's response, Super? But what he doesn't say is that he'd already purchased a huge stake in Super at this point, and on the day that he's tweeting, he was selling tokens, allegedly. Not only that, he had been selling tokens and continued to sell tokens. In the 72 hours after the May 12th tweet, MrBeast sold about $200,000 worth of these tokens. And remember the context. He's responding to the founder of the coin discussing a gym at eye-watering prices that's going to explode during the summer. And MrBeast's response is the coin he's selling. So publicly, it's signaling, hey, Super is this undervalued coin, and privately, MrBeast allegedly sold.
So Coffeezilla now also got into Super Farm. He was calling out Elio Trades and MrBeast. 3 years before, maybe even 4 years, my buddy Unapologetic Rebel was calling out Super Farm, which was pretty good because of him. I also started my journey in YouTube. And I wanted to invite him over because this guy is the Zach XPT, but then he's showing his face. He's calling out the biggest crypto scams now. By the time I'm making this video, we get these crypto scammers coming and coming and coming. So I want to focus on Super Farm, Superverse, and also the history before that. And Elliot Wyman, he is actually the main character in this. So Unapologetic Rebel, can you talk something about Elliot Wyman and then about yourself? And how did you find out about him? And why did you actually make videos about Superverse?
By the way, thanks for having me, man. It's been a while. And yeah, Unapologetic Rebel or RBL, that's exactly how I'm known as. But it's been a long journey. Okay, 2021. So Elio Trades, when I first got into crypto, I mean, that's my first channel, right? And I came across this user on Discord. I still remember, exact memory. He mentioned top 10 people to follow in the crypto space, because if you're new, you got to follow them. And Elliot Trades was one of them. We had Crypto Banter. I'm just look at the names, literally. And these are all the names, actually, if you look at the pattern. Coffeezilla was there. Log Davis was there. BitBoy, of course, without a doubt. Coinbearer and a few others. But that's how I got the names. And funny enough, since I'm also a creator, not just not an investor talking about picks, I also create. So I see things a little differently. And since this guy was doing YouTube videos, I kind of noticed something really off, right? And it was just at the peak when he was sitting at 100,000 subscribers. And I was like, okay, I'm following his pick. I'm seeing things, but everything didn't add up to me at one point. I'm like, he's pumping and dumping. People are not seeing it. And he's getting massive amount of views. So, well, just like any other YouTuber, I could have started my channel by talking about a crypto pick or something, but I just wanted to keep it real, authentic. And that's the way I started whatever my channel, my presents. And I did the video, all right? And it was not just one instance. And I also noticed not a lot of YouTubers were calling anything out in this space. It was the peak moment where all the crypto, everything was booming. And this guy decided to do one by one, basically launch projects one after the other and get away with it within, what, a few months? And I'm talking about millions of dollars. Now, of course, when we go to the MrBeast side and all, when you think about making, it's all over the place now, how MrBeast made 11.5 million from 100,000 investment. If you think about this, you should question, if he made this much, how much did Elio Trades and Becker make? It has to be way more than this number. And that should blow your mind, right? So basically, that's what I've seen. And I thought, let's clear a playlist on this guy, Elio Trades, and let's go all the way. And yeah, you want me to keep continuing about the Becker story or whatever?
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. It's also the history because Elliot Zeiman, he should be the next Sam Bankman-Friedman, especially if he's involved in the Mr. Beast thing. It's worse than Logan Paul. Um, but still, there are people coming to me and they say, I think Superverse is true. I believe that the crypto gaming industry will be coming on that. It's also because Elliot Weiman is tagging up with Alex Becker. I see Superverse, but I do know that there's a new target market coming in. So people see Superverse, they believe that it's going to be the biggest gaming industry. Alex Becker is also involved in it. So these people have millions of
How long?
subscribers.
How long, bro? Like, how long does it take someone to like believe what's happening? You know what I mean? Like when I called out the first so-called, that was my first video. Literally, this is the biggest scam, and I wasn't doing it just for that time being. I was like, people don't believe it now. Maybe they'll see it in the future. A lot of dislikes in the beginning, but you can see the comments and stuff. And guess what? After 4 years of manifestation, whatever, Coffee gets to cover it. But not only that, it happened. There's a story behind it because of the four people investigating, the whole thing. They reached out to me and they did reach out to me, two of the investigator, and I provided them with some DMs from the whitelist winners and fraud and whatnot. That's when the whole report was written. And that's when Coffeezilla covered it, right? So after Coffeezilla calling this, so ask yourself, game and all that, I get it. On Alex Becker, first of all, with a quick search, we can see his history. And I did go to Alex Becker's one of the seminars back in 2014, the book launch seminar, where you have all these same people, all right? And being in the marketing field, I wanted to see what the hype was all about, this Mirza and all that. And it's just dirty. So when that's when I wasn't extremely surprised. When I seen Alex Becker partnering with Elliott Trades, I'm like, dude, Elliott Trades is just another marketer, okay? This guy's that so-called crypto educator or whatnot. He's a marketer. I mean, he knows how to talk on the camera, get your attention, and pump and dump, and their audience is Gen Zs, all right, the younger generations. He literally used his girl back then, which is now his wife or whatever. And I did a recent video where I actually did a whole written form on my blog covering from top to bottom. And my title was Continuing What Coffeezilla Missed Out. Because I'm coming back to this in a second, right? Because you said people still believe there's a game. What kind of game? How long? And who plays this kind of game that's in beta mode? And the Tron chat, the very first. And how long does it take to create something? Being in the crypto field, all right, and being a gamer myself, I'll call this a biggest gaming grift, scam. I mean, I don't know, man. There's no name for this. Like I said, as a gamer, you can't even play any games. And the people who are hopeful are basically bag holders, sadly. All right? They're just bag holders. They got dumped, and now they're just misguiding people. And this is one thing I told my audience. I keep telling them, when you see comments that are totally skewed toward one side, like, oh, this guy's wrong, understand this. They're not working for your best interest. They're misguiding you, okay? Just because I have dislikes doesn't mean I'm always wrong. And thank God, because of Coffeezilla, all this thing happened after 4 years, we got a little more trust now. You see what I mean? Because all these years, yeah, you don't know anything. I'm like, now what? Even Becker, I noticed in some of the videos he's doing now, he knows what he was exposed for and all that, but they want to keep going. Okay, I can see that in their eyes, in the videos, Elliott Trades, all the stuff. They're so quiet, and I'm going to touch on the Coffeezilla screenshot as well, and that made me do another version, which was very recent, about the full scam, including his girlfriend, how they shield the NFTs, and for me, it's all about intention. Okay, if somebody believed in Elliott Trades, so-called Superfarm and Superverse, ask yourself what happened to all the previous failed projects. Intention, man. You keep failing. I mean, you just can't keep failing. Your intention was to rob people. That's simple as that. Either you're a dumbass entrepreneur that you don't know how to run anything, you should quit and refund all the money, or I mean, you get the point. It doesn't add up. Like either way. So these people who believe in this game, they're delusional or they're bag holders. And I hope this, they understand, change their mind, have an open mind. They could be like, you know what, I lost money. Let's actually tell the truth. Universal karma will do the rest. I mean, that's the reality.
So now it's rebranded Superverse. Superfarm also had this Imposters game, which is also never launched. But before that, there was also Tron Chat for the older people over here who know Elliott Trades for like 5 years. And they promised Pizza Heroes, and it got never delivered. But they do make money about it. They do rebrand their stuff, and they do pay the previous bag holders. It's the definition of a Ponzi.
Ponzi, yeah. That's number one. And second, They're making game. Okay, check this out, right? There's no games, nothing that comes for the people, but they keep raising funds, millions of dollars. MrBeast can make 11.5 million. It cannot come from thin air. It has to come from some pocket. Why would he make money? There's no game or anything, and he made money. I don't. It doesn't add up to me, like for anybody, right? Without having a product. And second, in one of the imposters website, the team section, I've checked at one point because this guy keeps changing. You know what? They said they were hiring at one point. They were hiring developers. They were saying they were paying the top level health insurance. I was like, and after I actually reacted to that video, they removed everything. And they are paying salary, full-time salary. The money is coming from all of us, this detail, and they're funding their salary and their VC, whatever funds, vacations, nothing to deliver. And funny enough, I also covered this, the Tron Chat team members, this Dave Murray, Ali Abbas, Vlad something, and Elliot Trade, these 4 names with picture, they're also there on imposters page. But this time the difference is there's no face. It's all NFTs. I'm like, dude, same people are behind this scam. And the worstest part, there are a lot of scams in this world right now. This crypto scam, shady scam, Singaporean team, Chinese team, 500 million, and non. Surprisingly, seeing Becker with a face, Elliot Trades with a face, living in USA, actually doing pump and dumps, crypto launches, that's like a little surprising. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like the biggest scam ever, but thinking, oh, MrBeast made this much money. Wow, he got away with it. I mean, so easy. You know what I mean? Like, keep them accountable at least. I mean, if they don't go to jail, I get it. But yes, what you just described and what we actually discovered and covered is a blatant fraud. Fraud, Ponzi, shouldn't be taken lightly. Like I said, regulated or not regulated, just like Hawk Tour just came out in the news. Hawk Tour got a lawsuit right now because what? The investors just filed a lawsuit on Hawk Tour because they lost money in her pump and dumps. They're claiming that the Hawk token is a security. SEC should go after them. So my question to the SEC is like, what is this Elliot Trades doing? He's launching tokens from, by the way, from Superfarm. He had Superstarter. Superstarter did IDOs, all right? 4 IDOs, Cold Stack, Donkey, Virtue Poker. All these were shilled by the same people. Virtue Poker, Alex Becker was there. Even MrBeast played in that thing. I mean, just look at the pattern, it's kind of wild. And then he realized, oh, this is not working. Everything went to zero. He shut down Superstarter, then moved to a new one. Just look at the grift, bro. The Elliot Trades NFT itself should tell people a guy creates NFTs based on him and his girlfriend and pumps the whole thing up. People are holding it for what? I mean, that's narcissism, bro. That itself is, like I mentioned, how do you even believe that person? Not only for investment. You can't trust that guy. You can't believe that guy. Not only once. Like, you fool me once. This guy keeps serial fooling since ever. It's a sad part that the reality is there will be always suckers in the system and they will be always taken advantage of. I'm doing my part. At the same time, I'm like, I can get some clout. Some people will follow me. If I call Elliot Trade, some people might follow me. Why not? Sure. But at the same time, my intention was to just spread awareness. I mean, as a content creator, you can do so much stuff, right?
I mean,
You can do the people and all that.
I mean, that's the two grifters. They don't think that they're grifting. They're just saying, yeah, I'm just running a business. It might be also an American thing. Luckily, a lot of people, they get caught. These people will say that, yeah, it's not just Superstarter that failed. Everything failed because the bear market came. And now they say that their product is pumping, but that's just because there's a bull run at this moment. How can you convince people that, or actually the authorities, that Elliot Wyman is actually worse than Hawk Tour and all these people combined?
The sad irony and the sad part is people don't do anything about it. Like, people who complain, they're not going to take a stand, right? Like, you got scammed, so how about you at least share the video or do something about it, or maybe file a class action lawsuit or something. But no, they will not. They'll wait for ZachXBD, Coffeezilla, or maybe Rebel to come and do something extra. But the fact, I even mentioned in my last video, if I was scammed by Superfarm, I lost money, I would try to talk to my lawyer and do something because I have skin in the game. But I don't want to be, at one point doing so many videos on Superfarm, having a playlist. Some people thought, oh, this guy's probably all like, he hates it, or he hates him, he's jealous, egoistic. You know what I mean? Like, he lost money, that's why. Not the point. So That's why I said people who actually lost, the one whitelist winner, they had this thing I exposed. They tried to hire a law firm way back in 2021. They failed because Elliot Trades did the same thing. He hired a lawyer. And the problem is, it's all a bully game. It's about how strong conviction you have. Like, basically, I mean, these guys are all bullies. All right. Like you say, it's an American thing. It's just like because America has the most money and most gullible people, and we are the biggest consumer market, whatever. So even the scammers will try to speak Americans, or Indian call center, they'll learn to scam Americans. It's what it is. So, I mean, that doesn't still make them like, okay, you say something good. There will always be suckers. And you talk about convincing, you can't. Let them keep getting sucked into the system. You can't. Because, like I mentioned, unless you have an open mind, you see the way it is. The people who didn't buy into it, here's the thing. If you didn't buy into Super Farm, then why would you? There are thousands of Ponzi's and thousands of tokens and memes out there. You only found one meme like Super Farm, which again, called out by so many people. That's number one. Second, oh no, it's not gonna dump, it's gonna pump. That means you're holding bags and you want us to pump it, which is not gonna happen. I mean, there's no other way or reasoning. After thinking, if MrBeast was able to dump 11.5 million, oh, it was a bear market. But how did he make millions while nobody made millions? I mean, they know how to control the narrative and the bull and the bear and when to bump and dump. You see, because they need more liquidity into the system so they can exit. And a lot of people don't understand tokenomics, which I'll again can't clarify in this video. It's a techie. Fully diluted market cap versus the liquidity. All right. The market cap on Superfarm is wild. It's like top 5% holders hold 90% tokens. And now you can understand why MrBeast. And it also says the tokens are going to keep unlocking so the team and other people can benefit. So nobody understands this tokenomic thing. Every time it unlocks, they will probably figure out a way to pump it because now they need more liquidity in the system so they can exit. So every time you see something pump, you're like, yeah, just pump and dump. Why? I mean, who is dumping? Exactly. People don't understand there's a mechanism behind that allows them to give tokens, issue tokens to others like team members as salaries. This is the reason Superfarm, all this thing has no white paper. They never had any of these. And yes, it's real that most of the other space, other members, 99% crypto is also scam. But they get away with it because they do whatever. But Superfarm is one of a kind, because the dude is a YouTuber as well. He's a content creator. Alex Becker is a known face, and all these are face. MrBeast is a known face. That's the main difference. I call out MM Finance, a lot of scams, which are also very big. $60, $70 million scam, Singaporean team, this. But then I can compare. Very similar pattern with, Superfarm and all. But Superfarm is like, these guys are not stopping. And you can see that he has a rebranded version. It's in beta mode, means they're waiting for everything to calm down so they can again do something. This is how it works. Coffeezilla just did a video on MrBeast several days back. It's getting buried down slowly. It has 7.5 million views, which is massive, but it's getting buried down. And then you can go back to MrBeast's channel. You can see he's also doing a lot of videos, which is getting 10 millions of views. MrBeast on Facebook, they're bragging, and everybody's like, oh yeah, look at this guy, successful. That other side of the world has no idea about what he did. So those who understand how it works and see it that way, keeps it real, probably will get away with it in terms of being able to make something in life. Others are going to fall in the trap and will blatantly give these guys money. I mean, this is what makes me very sad. Like, there's no value created, Like, crypto is such a thing, or stock, whatever, that if you get lucky and have 100,000 subscribers, shit, man, you can just sit down and just talk about, even with an X account, have a Twitter account or whatever with millions of subs, you can just pump and dump. It's like unbelievable. Like, anybody can make millions just like sitting here and just doing that, if that's what you want to do. My only question is if that's fulfilling to you. I mean, there's a moral thing. I hope people understand that. Yeah, you get the point now. You got to convince them. People already know what's happening. After all these called out, Coffeezilla, XBD, I mean, what convinced, man? Out of millions of, he's like telling me, hey, man, Amazon, just an example, or what kind of company should I say? NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a scam. What other companies should I invest? Oh, what? There's no other companies. I'm like, bro, NVIDIA is just one stock. There's so many other, you know what I mean? You don't have to just jump on one game when there's so many other games out there. So people tell you all this thing because crypto is all about promotion. And these guys are just promoting. As soon as the truth comes out, I tell the truth or whatever because I don't care. If I gambled in Ponzi, I have to tell you it's a Ponzi. If you don't dump, I'll dump before you. Simple. But they are scared. They don't have skills. They know that if I know the truth, I will front run them. That's why this whole space is just a dirty thing. I keep saying Alice Becker, then Elliot Trace. I don't believe they have skill. Okay, they have skills, sure. If they didn't have skills, they wouldn't be able to take this thing to the next level. You know what I mean? But I believe they have skills. They abuse the power. They abuse the skills, and the skill is mainly used for all the dirty tactics. That's it. And I can just analyze them and break that down, which I mentioned. Like that's what we do sometimes. Oh, this is how they do it. I mean, that's another business basically.
It's kind of sad that these people rather scam their human beings instead of getting real job. I mean, the only way we can actually get this in the big space, the same Sam Bankman-Friedman is like someone like Coffeezilla. I do know he touched a little bit about Elliot Wyman and MrBeast, but he didn't really talk about Alex Becker or the Super Farm and all that stuff. Let's say you can call him right now or have a call with him like this. What would you tell Coffeezilla to investigate, like you told me in summary?
I literally did a blog post and I on my unapologeticrebel.com it's recently, and I was reacting to it, and I literally said, I'm continuing from what Coffeezilla left out, basically. Main thing. Coffeezilla took a screenshot from Elliot Trades, and 2 screenshots, basically. And that's it. That was Super Farm. And then he moved on to the other projects and stuff. And my question was, I think you should investigate Super Farm and Elliot Trades itself as a whole thing. And I just feel, like I mentioned, man, everything is a business to some extent. He probably doesn't see that as a skin in the game. Like, I'm not going to get millions of views from this. So why? Just talking about MrBeast, all these huge ones will get you views. So Elliot Trace is not big enough for him, Alex Becker, or just, you know what I mean? V trying to cover all these dudes, okay, bigger, whatever. For Coffeezilla, it's like, morally, they did something wrong, but they're not big enough for me. I'm just assuming, okay? I don't know how they play their games or cards, but it's just like, out of 10 people, FTX, massive, $1 billion. I mean, come on, FTX, all world. Elliot Trades, I'm just going to do a video. It probably will get 1 million. And then I have 11 million, 10 million views. No, it's not going to perform. I don't know how they think, but I can understand where it goes from this, okay? It's just logical. But however, I feel it's much deeper than that because it's not stopping, all right? So the screenshot was like this. Elliot Trades said something which I quoted. I'm not going to quote exactly, what he said. After the Super Farm pump and dump, whatever happened, MrBeast dumped it. He says, I didn't tell MrBeast to dump it. I didn't say nothing. And he actually said, I went on a depression after that happened. That's his exact word. I went on a depression and I also wrote a thread about it. Hold on, you wrote a thread about it? And that's when I created a video asking the world, tell me how depressed does it look? Okay, because he went after depression after Super Farm, right? So I was like, okay, after Tron Chat, he wasn't depressed. Fine. Okay, he goes on. Then Pizza Hero, then Super Farm. Before Super Farm, it was Elliot Trades NFTs. After he did all the garbage there, he wasn't depressed enough. Okay, fine. So he goes to Super Farm, scams, does whatever. Then he becomes depressed enough that he started Superstarter. I'm like, hold on. You were so depressed that you started Superstarter, and then all the other scams, man, it just goes on, right? So how depressed could you be? That should tell you give you the red flag. And second, I found his girl's TikTok, basically, all right? And I kind of shown some of the videos there where literally Elliot Trades is in vacation, chilling, Maui wedding. I'm like, bro, how depressed does that look like? Look at the time stamp and everything. So that should give you the red flag itself that this is it's a fraud. We all know that. But who covers and who doesn't is not my thing, man. Like I mentioned, people move on, right? How much can you do? We also have to do something for ourselves, right? Put food on a table. You keep doing it, well, Coffeezilla does it, you get paid. All right, you go to Patreon, you go to support, that's your main time job. We can just do it to some extent. We're doing it as a charity. When I started doing that, it was like a charity. I wasn't getting paid to talk about Super Farm or criticize it, right? It's not making me any money. So most people in this YouTube space, they're motivated to some extent, not to some extent, to a great extent, money. So if I'm talking about a topic, is he going to perform well? Who cares what people are going to, if they're awareness or not, but is he going to perform well or not? Most people think that way, okay? Most. There's tiny people who does what you do, I do. There's a couple of others I've seen, they just do it like over and over again because they're trying to help. But others will just do once for the sake of, okay, did it perform? Okay, move on to the next one. So again, of the intention. So my intention was to keep doing. I kept doing it because I wanted more people to see it. If that didn't happen, all this investigation wouldn't have happened, man. It's kind of wild to think about it. That even in the whitelist DM to my whitelist fraud, which I exposed all my DMs on Twitter, I literally said May 2021 that I have sent this whole information to Coffeezilla, and after 4 years he does the thing. It's funny though that all those were screenshotted and you can see exactly what happened. It's wild that some of these, and ironically, 70 people who were the whitelist winners of Superfarm, actually, guess what? Their 50,000 investment became $1 million, some $1 million. So everybody was extremely happy because this is one in a lifetime opportunity. You know what I mean? So that's what Elio thought. Guess what? Instead of giving them this, let's refund their money. So Elio held their money, 50,000, for 4 weeks, according to all these people. These guys didn't have salary, nothing. And also, when they withdrew the money, they had to pay money for Ethereum fees, which was high at that time. So these guys got refunded, plus they lost money at the cost of MrBeast and others make that much money. That's kind of wild. So it just adds up, bro. Totally. Each person was supposed to give 50,000 as an allocation. MrBeast was given 100,000, double. You see where it's going? It's kind of wild. These guys were refunded because of, oh no, you made some. You're trying to cheat the system, soft agreement, blah, blah, blah. How did MrBeast get double the allocation? And that's why, instead of these guys making millions, he was able to take all the money. Because Elliot thought, why give this plebs or, normies, make them million? They're not going to help me. And some of them actually told me this, that, hey, he's making all his insider rich. Because the insiders have more following that Elliot can benefit from. See? When MrBeast says, oh, I did this eyeball, I did this thing. Oh, I didn't mean to pump the token. I didn't mean that. Yeah, that's why Elio gave me a free 100K token for what? Like free? There's no such thing as free, man. It's all transaction. That should tell you exactly where we're going with this. So when I seen that screenshot, when Coffeezilla said that, I'm like, man, Coffee, did you just buy this BS? Like, I was depressed by your thread. I didn't tell MrBeast to pump. I mean, anyway, I told you, everybody has a mission. His mission was cover MrBeast because big name, I can get millions of views. Logan Paul, millions of views. So he doesn't cover all the. So for him, maybe Becker and all the B tier, T tier, it doesn't matter to him. He does one video once a month, bro. So he has to be calculative in so many other ways. So I'm not gonna. He doesn't have zero obligation. Let him do whatever he wants doing. We are gonna do our part. That's all thing. And I'm not even Coffeezilla, to be honest. Not even Zach XPD. I just react to whatever I find interesting. And yeah, I like to talk about scam just because being in the marketing and the techie field, it just, it sparks my curiosity. You know what I mean? I like the hacking thing and all that. I like to reverse engineer and dissect those things. That's about it. So I'm all about making money, abundance, freedom, and avoid scams, basically. That's about it.
Definitely. We're running out of time. So, because I noticed that when people watch podcasts, they don't click when it's pretty long. So I'm going to keep it under 30 minutes. If there's anything to say to the people who are watching this, everyone in the world, doesn't matter if it's Coffeezilla, everyone was watching this. What would you love to say to closing in?
If it sounds too easy, if it sounds too good, it is to be true, basically, it is. And it's just not, I mean, it's a saying, but I'm telling you based on total experiences and experiments, and have an open mind because most don't. So the only way, I mean, that's a reality, Ask yourself, you want to be a loser or winner? I mean, there's always a loser and a winner. There's always a sucker in the game. In crypto stock, it's a zero-sum game. One wins, one loses. It's what it is, bro. Unless we're exchanging something. So ask yourself what fulfills you. And if you want to participate in so-called meme and casino and scam, also remember that you might be contributing to so-called some illegal trafficking because you don't know what the other person is doing with the money. Like that's one thing. So if it sounds too good to be true, and I always believe building skills is very important. So focus on probably skill building, having a curious mind, that helps. And always ask why. Why this happened? Why that happened? Always ask why. There has to be a why behind it. Most people don't care about it. It's just like they can convince and that's about it. And yeah, thanks for having me. I don't do promotion. I'm so barely used to, hey, subscribe to my channel. I barely even say that. But yeah, people can find me wherever they want. You can probably leave the links and stuff. But yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing. And this is for you, Yusuf. Keep just doing whatever you're doing, man. And
Definitely. I will
Man, just
release
do a lot more. Do a lot more.
I will definitely do it. And I hope to see you again in the future when this whole thing gets exposed a lot more. It's already 4 years going on. Coffeezilla just touched a little bit of it. And I hope this gets bigger and everything crashes because that's the only way we can kind of get revenge.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do what we can do, and this is the rest to the universe, right?
Yes, I hope to see you in the future.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me. Take it easy.
See you, Rebel.
All right, bye.